Good morning. This is AM 1340 WGRV. I'm Reid Seals here with our monthly interview with the Greene County Mayor, David Crum. And David, first off, just welcome.
Good morning, Reid. Good morning, Greene County.
First off, tell me about the resolution to raise the budget director's salary and why you believe it was important, even though it didn't pass.
Right. I thought it was important. It goes back, as mayor, you go and are involved in many different things, and this goes back probably a year ago. The comptroller's office had an individual at the county mayor's or the mayor's meetings, and they were discussing certified financial officer certification through CTAS, the County Technical Assistance Services. And the comptroller this is one of the things they're pushing, is to get budget directors that may either be a CPA or to get this certified financial officer certification. And my concern is that we will become a training ground or become a starting point for people. County government accounting is a real specialized niche. And once you get somebody that has some experience, that has that education, has that training, it's not just something somebody can come off the street. I'll use a couple examples. My understanding is Carter County just adopted this a week or so ago, that their budget director would be paid on the same level as those elected officials. My understanding is Cock County's had it for some time, and whenever I was checking with some of the mayors, I understand that Hamlin County's budget director recently went to Morristown, and so they got the one from Cock County. And that just concerns me as Danny gets more experience in the county accounting and gets these certifications, that other counties, as the comptroller's office begins to make this more of a mandate that you have this requirement. What I can see them doing is having it as a recommendation, moving it up to as a required type thing, and putting notes on your audit that you have this. And to get that off, you're going to have to find the people that are qualified for that, and you need to compensate them to get them and keep them that are able to do the many functions that are required of this office. I tease my job requirement basically is 25 years of age, a resident of the county for a year, and get more votes than anybody else. You know, I've got a bachelor's, I've got a master's, and I think the 27 years of law enforcement give me some background in just dealing with people and situations. But the budget director has a lot of requirements that they have to do and maintain and deal with all the different elected officials on working in their budgets. So it's a difficult job, and having someone that can do it and do it efficiently is someone we need to keep.
What's the latest on the shooting range?
We're moving along. Actually, Todd Smith and I are going to meet next week to kind of come up with some policies that we think should be implemented. I hate to give a particular time frame, but it's moving along really well now. Interior's pretty well done. There's still some painting and some fixtures and things. Starting to kind of look at a budget for it. And talking to Carroll County, they had indicated their first year they were a little bit short, their revenues covering expenses, but they didn't start at the beginning of a year. So I'm hoping this will be something that we have ready to start with a budget year shortly thereafter that we can have in place. What I'd like to do is have a manager in place that's there that can really promote and get out, but you also need some firearms instructors that are there to supervise the range and things whenever it's open to the public. So the process is coming along. I mean, pretty optimistic about where we're at now.
Has the county budget process begun at this point?
Oh, yeah. We've sent those notifications out and asked everyone to have back in their request and the things that they're looking for needs and stuff. So, yeah, we're getting into that. It's getting that time of year again.
It's early, but is there any indication that there will be a tax increase this time?
You're getting in a very early time. I mean, it depends on what the things are. Discussions have been about SROs. You know, if the commission and the public believes that school resource officers are important to protect our kids, which I do, there's not money there to do it without a tax increase. It's going to require funding.
Now, speaking of schools, what will occur at the meeting this Monday between the school board and the commission?
That's a workshop, and what we'll do is the group that came and developed the study will come and explain to all the commissioners, and of course, the school board's been more active, but we'll explain the process they went through in coming up with their evaluations and how they came up with that recommendation to the school board. And then David McLean will be giving an overview from the school's perspective, and then we'll allow some question and answer from the commissioners and school board members to discuss, how it's going to go forward.
Now, this is more of a personal question, but what are your plans after your term is up?
I don't have anything particular. I've started kind of looking around. There's some things I would like to do, but we'll just kind of see what comes up. People say, what are you going to do when you retire? And I'm like, I'm not retiring. I've got to find a job doing something. So we'll see what that may be. I've worked since I was 16, and I plan to work a few more years.
Well, the police chief, position is open again.
No interest at all in that. People have brought that up, and I said, look, when I left, it gave some guys that were there an opportunity to move up into the positions that I had, and at that time the sheriff was in detective lieutenant and his chief deputy, so it allowed some people to move up, and there's some very capable people over there that can move into that position, and so that's not something. Now, you say that, and just on serious, there are communities that look for interim chiefs, that they may not be ready to hire that person and they want an interim. Things like that are something that I would keep open to whatever. I haven't marked anything particularly off at this point.
And now a question we kind of talk about every month, but what's going on in Greene County?
Well, I want to recognize Ron Metcalf. I think you probably brought it up, but at the partnership this last week, Ron was recognized for his many years of service to the Ladies Classic, and Ron's involved in a lot of things in our community, and just kind of want to reach out and give him a little pat on the back. But there's a lot of Easter, Good Fridays coming up in just over a week. Just a lot of spring allergies or snow. I guess, depends. It's East Tennessee and it's March and April, so you either got stuff blooming or freezing, and it could all be doing the same in the same day. So do be careful. I noticed it had a big fog yesterday, I guess, so just kind of be aware and careful as everybody's getting out and going. Kids are still in school and time change, so just everybody have a great as we transition in spring. Irish Festival will be coming up soon. Baseball, I guess we'll be watching the Reds after that, and we're in the midst of March Madness, and I can't imagine anybody that would have a viable bracket at this point in time.
I want to thank Greene County Mayor David Crum for joining us for our monthly interview. This is Reid Seals, and you're listening to AM 1340 WGRV.